How y'all doing, baby? It's Wednesday, baby. Clyde is right here, getting us over hump day. We appreciate Lone Wolf letting him guard duty here. Anyway, what's going on, John? Well, then today I'm going to talk to you about my state, baby. My state, because we're in the news today. We're in the news, baby. And I don't like it. One of the things we're in the news for, because there's a list here, and we're going to go through them. The first one on the list is a big one in the news because it concerns Roe v. Wade. It concerns rights of women to have the ability to have an abortion in this country, which is a big thing with the Republicans, you know. Pro-birth and all that stuff. Pro-life, my ass. We'll get to that in a minute. But in Texas, it is now illegal to have an abortion after 6 weeks. Now, mind you, most women, I've done my research here, most women will find out they're pregnant around the 8-week period. It's the way their body works, the way it functions to let them know, hey, you missed something here. So before they even know, before they're even allowed to make that decision, the law here in Texas has already made it for them, baby. And not only that, Texas law allows for you, no matter where you live, in New York, in Montana, in California, I don't know, in Louisiana, and anywhere, baby, anywhere, you can sue anybody that is involved in the process. Meaning, if you give a ride to somebody to a clinic, everybody in this country can sue you for $10,000, baby, individually. If you give advice to your friend here about where a clinic might be, they can sue you for $10,000. Everybody can sue you. Anybody involved in the process in any way. The law in Texas says that anybody in this country can sue them for $10,000. You think that'll happen? You bet your sweet ass it's going to happen. It's going to happen big time. Because that's why they wrote that in there. They want to try to punish people. Now, mind you, they are in the process of screaming freedom about their body, their choice about masks. Yeah. Well, that doesn't apply to whatever rule they make. And in this case, it's an abortion rule. And this is going to help challenge the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court refused to step in and stop this. And that speaks volumes to me. We have a 6-3 court. We know Kavanaugh. We know. What's that lady's name? Jeez, I just forgot her name. Anyway, most recently added Justice. We know their views on this. They can't wait to overturn Roe v. Wade, and this is going to be the doorway to doing it. So thanks a lot, Texas. Let's back us up 50 years. Yeah, but that's not all. That's not all we're in the news for. Today, on September 1st, here in Texas, shit, you want to carry a weapon? Strap it on, baby. You don't need no permit, no nothing. It's constitutional carry in this law, in this state. You want to strap on a gun? You bet your ass. Go to town, and I've already seen it. Yep. While they make laws to force a woman to have a baby. Even now, mind you, there is no exception in that abortion law for incest or rape. So if a young lady is raped or her father violates her and gets her pregnant, the state of Texas says, tough shit, you got to have that baby because there's no exception for it. So don't tell me you're pro-life and at the same time turn around and pass a law that you don't have to have a permit or nothing. Just strap the gun on and go to town. Baby, it won't be long before here in Texas. Hell, we'll be having shootouts at high noon in the street. It'll be just like the good old days, when America was great. Yeah, I don't think so. But there's more, baby. There's more. We passed a new law today restricting how Texas schools can teach race or history. We don't want to put none of that, bad stuff in our history books talking about how, we had slaves in the country. It doesn't give us a good look. Maybe we ought to just lay off of that stuff and just bypass it. That's what they want to do. They want to restrict the history taught in this state and how we speak about racism in this country. Texas doesn't want you doing that, not in the school, baby. Our lily white kids down here don't want their ears exposed to such such liberal propaganda? Are you shitting me? Dragging us backwards one step at a time. And by the way, SB 1 here in Texas is on its way to the governor's office to restrict voting rights in this country, which will affect mostly brown and black people in the state of Texas, because that's the target, baby. That's who the target is. The Texas legislature has morphed into what I call the Texas Taliban, baby. They're going to control a woman's body. They're going to control what is taught in your school. They're going to control who votes. And if you get to vote, and even if you get to vote, maybe we'll just throw it out because we don't like that decision that the people make. We think there's something fishy going on. We'll toss all that out and let the local judge pick who the voters wanted. Texas Taliban, baby. That's the Texas GOP. Everything from history. Voting registration. Let's don't forget the voting registration. They're going to tell who gets to vote, baby. Who gets to get what gets to get taught in school. Who gets to carry a gun, baby. Everybody gets to carry a gun. You want a gun? You want a gun? Everybody gets a gun. Strap it on. Walk around. What could happen? And then come up with this draconian abortion bill law. What's next, Texas? Burkas? Burkas, baby, for our women? You know, don't want to be showing none of that sexy stuff down here in Texas. Are you shitting me? You been to the beach lately? Whoo, baby. This is what's happening. This is the Republican Party. This is what they're trying to do. Look what they're trying to do with mask mandates here and in Florida and other states. The Republican Party itself has morphed into the American Taliban, baby. Look what Kevin McCarthy's out there saying. Kevin McCarthy tweeted out a statement saying if any of these tech companies comply with the legal requirement from Congress about phone records, well, they are going to break the law and wait till the majority of Republicans get in, and we're going to take you out of business. You won't be able to operate in this country anymore. Really, Kevin? Really? You're threatening AT&T or other major corporations that they won't be able to operate in this country if they turn over those records. It'll be breaking the law, Kevin McCarthy says. When asked what law that is, Kevin McCarthy can't tell you because there is no law that gives a company the ability to deny a congressional subpoena on phone records. And they don't want those phone records revealed because it's going to say what congressman talked to who at what time and on what day. That what day and what time thing, oh, that's real important for January 6th. And the January 6th committee wants that information. But Kevin McCarthy, what did Eric Swalwell, Democrat out of California, tweet out? It's the equivalent of telling tech companies and major communication companies and other government entities, snitches get stitches. That's what Kevin McCarthy's trying to tell. Snitches get stitches, man. If you give them the information, if you tell them turn over those records the way they are legally bound to do, well, we're going to try to screw up your company. We're going to try to make it hard for you. We're not going to give you anything. We're going to try to shut you down. Is that the American way? Is that the free market society speaking there? No. That is a dictatorial view of what they can do. They'll shut down a company. That's what Donnie wanted to do anyway. He don't like you, he'll shut down Twitter or Facebook if they try to take him off. Kevin McCarthy's going to do the same thing with tech companies. If you tell on us, we'll shut you down. If you teach the wrong history in Texas, we'll shut you down. If you seek advice on what to do with an unwanted pregnancy, they hunt you down. Who are these people, baby? Because they're sounding like the Taliban to me. As a matter of fact, another story in the news today, that white supremacists and these white nationalists, and you don't have to look far to find them. You usually find them with a Confederate flag flying in their yard. They're praising the Taliban and how they're taking over Afghanistan. So the morphing into the American Taliban, it's not that big of a stretch, baby. If they had their way, I'm telling you, people would be walking around with guns and sticks and beating your ass if you don't do what they say you should be doing. You know, put on a burqa. What's next? You know, whether it's Sharia law or Christian law, it's religious law. And that's what they try to bring into our laws. And we, as a nation, we don't want that shit. Separation of church and state is essential for a free and democratic society. I don't have to read that from somewhere. That's Thomas Jefferson, founding father, baby. Don't bring your religious shit into the law. Texas, but they do. They do. We have enough to deal with natural disasters, the fires out west, hurricane damage down in Louisiana. These people are going to be suffering for a long time. We have COVID. We have a pandemic sweeping the nation. And this climate change, there's going to be another hurricane next year. What are we going to do with these people when they keep getting hit by storm after storm after storm? You barely have time to put your house back together before some other storm comes in and knocks it down, or another wildfire starts and it just burns it up. We have things we could be addressing in this nation. Things that matter, things that would move us forward. But the Republican Party doesn't want any part of that. They don't want the wrong history to be taught. We don't want to talk about racism in this country. Critical race theory, ooh, boo, boo, boo. Republicans only have fear. On a side story today, and it's not a side story, actually. Justice, we hope. Elijah McClain was 23 years old. He's the young gentleman that was assaulted by police on his way home in Aurora, Colorado. That's what he was doing, walking home. No other charge. But the police came and tried to arrest him, and he was confused. So they put him in a chokehold, baby. Put him in a chokehold. When the paramedics got there, they said, shoot him up with some ketamine. I think that's the drug. Sedative, calm him down. Shoot him up. Elijah died. There were no charges by the city that come up. But the Colorado grand jury today indicted 3 officers and 2 paramedics for negligent homicide and manslaughter. I'm glad to see it. Aurora police officers Randy Rodemer, Nathan Woodyard, and former officer Jason Rosenblatt, and paramedics Jeremy Cooper and Peter Sichunik on a 32-count indictment. Long time coming. We have a lot of problems in this country that we could be solving, that we could be addressing. And now that we're not in a war, maybe we can turn our attention to this country, because there's going to be a lot of people that need a lot of help. And we can't say we don't have enough money because we have to buy more tanks or, whatever. Got to replace all them helicopters we lost in Afghanistan. We got to buy some more MRAPs or some more Humvees or something. We got to spend more money on our defense because the bad guys are coming to get us. The bad guys are already here. They're already attempting an insurrection. They already tried to overturn a legal election to install their dictator. And they're still trying. Kevin McCarthy's threat against these companies to hold back on requirements that the law says they must provide to Congress. It tells you who the Republican Party wants to be. And given a chance, baby, they'll install a king and declare themselves the Taliban. Well, they won't use that term. They'll come up with something patriotic, really American sounding. But it'll be the same thing. And that's how come we stay involved. That's how come your vote in 22 is more important. Because Kevin McCarthy, if he gets the power, you bet your ass they're going to try to do shit like that. So while they scream freedom and liberty, they're really just blowing smoke up your ass. You know, these aren't the droids you're looking for. We're the good guys. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're seeking to destroy this country. And they're trying to use the Constitution, patriotism, and God to do it. You know. Anyway, that's all I have today. I had a great meeting last night with the Blue Dot family meeting. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's Blue Dot family meeting. So come by and join us and join the conversation. Things are well today, and nice and peaceful and quiet in the neighborhood. We're happy that we get to enjoy the day. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. Put a smile in your heart. Try to put a smile on somebody else's face. It'll make your day go better. Anyway, we'll be here tomorrow. Y'all take care of yourself, and we'll see you then. Bye.